Yeah, man.
Hello, my name is Miguel, and today I'm gonna make for you fish fillet sandwich. Alright, so you're gonna need some fish fillet. Say about quarter pound to half pound of fish fillet. In today's case, I'm just using a quarter pound. You're gonna need half a teaspoon of sage, dried or fresh, chive, dried or fresh. We're gonna need some flour and cornmeal to baste our flour. You're gonna need some cooking oil, coconut oil preferably. Fry the fish patty. And I'm gonna use some cornstarch in the fish mince to make it firm. Alright, so first what I'm doing is pouring a bit of flour in a dish or on a surf on a flats in a container pretty much. That was like quarter cup of cornmeal, flour. Quarter cup of flour and about 2 tablespoons, between 2 tablespoons of cornmeal. The cornmeal is optional. You can use straight flour if you want. It will be okay. Alright, so you mix the flour and the cornmeal together properly. So you want to do that, put that aside and have it ready. Put it aside, have it ready to use. Alright, next, take your fish fillet, make sure it's defrost, and put it in a container. Or a bowl. Add the salt, about a pinch of salt, less than quarter teaspoon. Add corn starch. It's important that is food. About quarter teaspoon of, in my case, I'm just using quarter pound of fish fillet. So quarter teaspoon of cornstarch, about half teaspoon of chive, and half teaspoon or quarter teaspoon of sage, dried or fresh. And that's grounded. I'm using grounded sage. Alright, so once you add all the ingredients, use your fingers and mince the fish fillet to chunks. You don't want to mince it very, very fine. Just mince it up, break the fish fillet up in pieces, chunks. Just enough so you can, we're going to form a square. So you can, I'm sure they have templates out there like square templates, circle templates, templates that's shaped like a fish, and you just put the fish in it and let it set. But in our case, we don't have any templates, so we're going to be practical. See, my whole objective is to be practical, is to cook in such a way that people can cook at home. Alright, so you take your fish fillet. For you guys out there that like sandwiches, I love sandwiches. So although I cook all these big meals, and at times I cook those big meals, at times I just feel for sandwiches. I feel for burger, fish sandwich, chicken sandwich, all sort of sandwiches. So I make sandwiches occasionally. Alright, so you put your fish pieces combined with all the ingredients and the food starch on a flat surface. Use a knife on a flat surface like a plate, or in this case I'm just using the package that it came in, the little tray. find it's easier if I just use a knife on my right hand and just use the knife to form the shape that I want. So I want a square fish patty. So I use my left hand to rotate the container, and then with a knife in my right hand I shape a square or form it. Use the knife to form a square fish patty. Trust me, work out really easy. It's very, very, very effective if you do it this way. So do as you see me doing. Use the knife and form your square. You can also use the same knife and flatten the square if you don't want it to be thick. It's easy because while you're forming or while you're making a shape, the food starch is stiffening the fish patty. It's kind of holding the pieces together. Alright, so do as you see me doing and just gently form the perfect square. Alright, so once you do that, you just put it aside for between 10 minutes and allow it to set. Alright, so I'm still kind of playing with it. Make sure it's never good to play with food while you're cooking. But I'm not playing, I'm kind of shaping it. Alright. So while I wait for that to form, shape, I'm gonna toast my bun. So put a skillet, a big enough skillet, or you can use a pizza tray. Sometimes I use a pizza tray. Put the stove gauge on low, almost off low, and just allow the pot or the skillet to get hot. I'm gonna toast or alright, so this is how low you want it. Keep it low, between off and low. You gotta gauge it. If it's toasting, if it's taking forever to toast, you can always turn it up. If it's toasting too fast, you can always turn it down. But keep it in. This is my bun, my fish bun. So this is a non-cut one, so I gotta cut it myself. Just take a sharp knife. My knife is not so sharp. If you've been following me for a while, you know I don't use sharp knife. So sharp knife cuts. With dull knife forgives. Sharp knife cuts, dull knife forgives. Alright, so you cut your bun. Alright, so lay your bun cut side on the pot's hot surface and allow. You have to allow the pot to get hot. So that was between 3 minutes before we added the bun. The pots was on. Alright, so between 4 minutes later, this is what your bun look like. It's been toasting fast. So I turn it off and you just put your bun aside for later. Your toast bun aside. Alright, so this is our fish fillet. It's been sitting and shaping for about 10 minutes now. Alright, some way, somehow, you want to add the flour to the fish to the flour. So, it's the fish patty is extremely fragile. Although it's holding together, it's still fragile. So you just put some flour over the fish patty. Because it will be difficult to move the fish. Alright, so you base the fish surface with the flour. Use a spatula, gently, carefully. Try and get beneath the fish. It's not gonna work, so what I do is just flip this container upside down and kind of fold the fish patty together while I'm lifting the fish patty off the surface because it's kind of sticking a little. Alright, so once you do that, you just add flour to the base. If you want to see me do this fish sandwich without adding flour, I have a fish fillet gourmet sandwich recipe. You can go check that one out. But this is a typical fish sandwich that is served in fast food restaurants. I'm sure they have big factory that they go through and do this process much more easier. But this is the homemade method. Alright, so that's the idea. Just try and shake off the excess flour and put this fish patty aside until you're ready to fry. Alright, now put to heat a frying pot or pan or skillet, a small enough one to fry our fish patty. Alright, so it's a bit wet, so I'm just drying it. Make sure it's dried. Alright. In today's case, I don't have to wait for the pot to get hot because the fish is floured. So add the pot, make sure it's dried, add oil. Add enough oil for frying. Add enough oil to cover the surface of the pot, the bottom of the pot. Alright, the stove's gauge is on 4, medium, low. Just allow the oil to get hot. Alright, stove's gauge is on 4, medium, low. Alright, once you see a little smoke, that's a sign to say it's ready. Ready for frying. Alright, so it's been between 3 minutes. Use your spatula and lift the fish patty and place it in the hot oil. Just be gentle and allow. Alright, the stove's gauge is on 4, medium low. Just allow it to fry on one side. Fish don't take more than 6 minutes to cook. This is a small piece, so it's going to take about 6 minutes. Alright, it's been 2 minutes on one side. I didn't flip it. You gotta allow it to cook properly on one side. Alright, so use your spatula. Just kind of lift it to see how it's cooking. If it's burning, you know. Just make sure it's not burning. And just allow. Alright, it's been 4 minutes. 3 between 4 minutes. It's more like 3, closer to 3 minutes. You just use a spatula and carefully flip the fish on the other side and allow it to fry. Alright, so this is what your fish patty look like frying. Alright, the sizzling. Once you hear the sizzling get less, the sizzling of the oil frying the fish, gets less, that's a sign to say it's almost ready. Alright, so it's been 2 minutes on that side, 6 in all. So like I said, once you hear the sizzling of the oil gets less, that's a sign to say it's ready, almost ready. Until you hear no sizzling. Like for instance, if you had left the fish in there until it burned, you wouldn't hear nothing. You wouldn't hear nothing. The sizzling meaning you get less. And when you just put it in your and as it cook kind of play a flipping game, get less. And so like I just curved, but I didn't. Alright, so it's been between 7 minutes in all. See, I want to make sure it's cooked properly. But typically, fish takes 6 minutes to cook. Worst if it's boneless. Alright, the stove gauge is on 4, medium low all this time. Alright, so I'm just letting it stay for a little while. We're just about finished. Alright, so that's it. Just turn it off and remove the fish. Once you hear the sizzling of the oil gets less, that's a sign to say it's ready. Almost ready. Alright. And now I just place the fish on a paper towel, a thick paper towel, so that it drain off all the excess oil. Typically I don't use paper towel, but because I didn't fry this fish fillet on high heat, the fish fillet kind of absorb some of the oil. So if you put it on a paper towel just after you finish frying, the oil will drain. That excess oil will drain in the paper towel. Alright, so now just lay some sliced cheese. Lay some sliced cheese on top your fish fillet patty while it's still warm. Melt in the cheese. Alright. The fish fillet. Alright, now I'm gonna dress my sandwich. So you take your toast bun, add tartar sauce. Pour tartar sauce or spread tartar sauce on your fish fillet bun. On one of your bun, then you add the fish fillet with the cheese, and then you place the bun's lid on top that, and voila, homemade fish fillet sandwich in living colors. Visit JamaicaDinners.com. Subscribe. Alright, so now I'm gonna taste this sandwich. I don't have that much tartar sauce, but it's sufficient. Just grab your sandwich. Look at that. I just want you to see it. Just take a bite. Our fish patty is cooked properly. This is a good idea, you know, guys. If you're at home and you want something different, it's not all the while you have to run to a restaurant, you know. You can do it yourself. You'll probably enjoy it better. For me, you know why I cook so much too? Because whenever I eat out, I never have a good experience. There's always something that just turn me off. You know what I mean? I like good food. And if the food is not cooked properly, even if I'm hungry, I'm gonna be, skeptical to eat it. So I oftentimes don't have good experience when I eat out. Alright, I'm gonna have a seat and eat this sandwich. Until next time, See ya.
Yeah, man.